Have you ever wondered what goes through a violinist's mind when they are playing Spring by Vivaldi? I'm sure you all have heard it before. However, this seemingly simple tune actually has a lot more backstory to it. And without further ado, welcome to my YouTube video about my virtuosi concert.
Oh, hi.
What's up?
Spring.
Oh, yeah, you gonna send me that, bro. I didn't put that on Instagram.
Today, I will be doing a quick breakdown of what I played and also what happened throughout my performance. So firstly, we will start with the significance of the four seasons and how revolutionary it actually is in the world of program music. So actually, the four seasons is the first time that program music was composed. Instead of purely musical works such as partitas and sonatas back in the day in the Baroque era, Vivaldi was the first person to compose program music that told stories and depicted life. And in this case, it depicted life in the Italian countryside and showed how life went on as the seasons went on. However, in this video, I'll only be talking about Spring and the first movement of it. So actually, in the music of the Four Seasons pieces, Vivaldi actually writes words that describes the different parts of the music, and in a way it's kind of like a musical, but the words aren't being read, they're just for the musicians to see. Now let me show you some examples of this. Here's another example. So that was actually quite revolutionary at the time, as it was the first time a composer had told a story with their music writing. Okay, so now that you know the significance and also a little bit of the history behind the Four Seasons, let's move on to how I played. Aldrich, and I'll be playing the first movement from Spring by Vivaldi.
Oh my god, bro.
Well, honestly, I don't really know what happened there. I guess I was just nervous. I went up there, forgot how to cue, forgot how to come in. Well, let's see how the pianist reacted though.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
But I guess just like whenever you make a mistake, you just gotta recalibrate and try again. And I think I did pretty well on my second try. Wait! Let me stop right there before it gets to the climax of the entire movement. So far it isn't perfect, but it is still definitely quite good in my opinion. I feel like in some parts the intonation could have been more centered, but that's just part of the performance jitters. Next, I want to talk about the famous part, the climax, and the epicenter of the entire movement. So this next section actually involves a rising arpeggio that is in paired triplets, and it gradually arpeggiates to the top E, where it then moves down continuously without a single rest or break. So the fast and rigorous tempo, added with the constant pressure needed from the right hand, further exacerbated by the lack of resting points, makes it the most tiring section in this entire piece, in my opinion. Wow, we made it through without making any major mistakes. Personally, I would say this is one of the best playthroughs I've done of this section. Most of the time, when I'm practicing at home, I would encounter a serious problem where after I have reached the top E, and while I'm coming down, I'll end up being one entire semitone sharper than what I'm supposed to be, or sometimes even an entire tone. So this means instead of playing C, I'll be playing D. So obviously this will destroy the entire piece and it'll make it sound like a impromptu key change. I don't know how, but this was eventually fixed with constant drilling and just continuous practice. Anyways, let's continue. I hope you've been enjoying it so far, and I hope I didn't interrupt you, but I would just like to point out this next section, which I feel is like the nicest and most soothing part of the entire piece, because there's a ritardando in bar 70 where it slowly goes down into this rising scale, and there are fermatas along the way, and it goes to an accelerando. And this entire section is just really calm and soothing, and the notes are just beautiful. So it's really up to the musician's interpretation on how they want to play this. And I hope you like how I interpreted this part of the piece. I hope you have enjoyed watching, and thank you for spending your time listening to me yap about my performance. If you'd just like to watch my performance by itself, unedited, and without any cuts, click the link in the description. It will bring you to another video. And with that, this concludes my Virtuosi solo concert video. Thank you!